Hi y'all, it's Neva from manicmamacreationz, and if you've been watching me for a while, you know because it's Monday that it's Mental Health Monday video day. So, um, and if you're new, almost every Monday I do a Mental Health Monday video, and I talk about mental illness or wellness or health, mental health. There you go. And I myself am diagnosed with bipolar, PTSD, severe anxiety, depression. I'm sure there's a few other things. Yeah, there you go. So I'm a bit of a mess, but I'm a fun mess. So, and so I talk about it. Well, last week we talked about like chemical addictions, like using drugs to self-medicate, alcohol, drugs, maybe even cigarettes. I do know that even after I quit smoking, when I would drink, I would automatically want to smoke too. It was a link or something. I do know that at one time when I was trying to lose weight, I would smoke instead of eat on like my work breaks. So it does something to you. It is a drug, nicotine's a drug. We all know this. I think I've said before that if quitting meth is worse than cigarettes, worse than nicotine, which it is. That I would never. I'm glad I never started that, because quitting cigarettes was hard enough. It's those people. Don't ever judge people who have tried and can't quit smoking. It is very, very, very hard. I now no longer smoke, and even when I get that urge, because I've fallen off the wagon a few times when I tried to quit, but my mom died of COPD, and so therefore it keeps me off cigarettes now. But I transferred all that to other things. So let's talk about other ways other things we use to self-medicate or self-soothe, or even sometimes self-harm, but we don't realize that's what we're doing to ourselves at the time. Food. Now, that's nothing about self-harming, but, well, I think it kind of is. So here's the deal. You know, when you really are just sad and you want an Oreo, and you sit down and then you eat half a package of Oreos because you're sad. They make you kind of feel better. Chocolate makes you feel better, right? That's soothing. And it's still not good. It's not as dangerous as meth, okay? But it's still bad because it's sugar, so it's bad for your blood sugar, and most people, not everybody, I've got some friends who don't gain weight, and it makes you gain weight, which adds to health problems later down the line. But then there's also, when I was a kid, my dad would gripe at me for eating. Now, he was a big guy, but he would gripe at me for eating. You know, he'd tell me I needed to cut back on certain things. That's for another story, how he self-sabotaged, how he was a confused circle for me. But then it was almost like, I was like, well, you don't want me to be fat. I don't know what it was, but then it made me eat more. It made, for whatever reason, then I would just wanted to sit and eat. I don't know if it was because it made me sad, because my two sisters growing up were itty bitty, and I was always bigger. I weighed more at birth, and then I was just always the heaviest one. Okay, then there is, so food can be one. Sex, my channel's not for children, so sex can be one. If you are bipolar, or you know anyone that's bipolar, a lot of times when a bipolar person is manic, they are hypersexual, which means that they want to have lots and lots of sex. Will there be with that one person or lots of different people? Yeah. No, Ziki. And so, yeah. And a lot of times, I don't know if, I don't know if I ever became hypersexual, but I was very promiscuous in my younger years. And I put myself in some situations that a few times something bad did happen to me, and sometimes it almost happened to me. There are times there was that little, it could have happened to me. Okay. And so yeah, but it was a way of, I don't know. Sometimes it made me feel wanted because I didn't feel good enough. Other times I think I was just trying to like abuse myself in a way. Like, I don't know. I, it was a type of self-harm, I think. Because I knew that the sex wasn't going to lead to where I wanted it to. I was just going to feel worse about myself. And then there was the people pleaser in me. I'd been raised to make people happy, you know, do what makes them happy. And that was part of it too. Like, yeah, we have this one fly that will not leave me alone. And so there was that. Dieting, period. I know someone who she'll be just fine and then she'll start not liking how she feels or looks, and she goes the other way. She starts exercising all the time. She won't eat right. She told me once, that's the one thing I can control is food. And a lot of people feel that way. And that is her way of taking control of her life. It's not healthy. But she's done it more than once in her life. Very, very, very sad. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we use. Food is one. Sex. Food, one way or the other. Sex is another. That's not a chemical. People. Some people with mental illness use other people because having other people around makes them feel wanted or needed. Then when they don't need that person anymore, then she wants to be loved. Then when they don't, they don't need to feel okay, guys. No, I can't. Not all of you. That's why I want to do it outside too. So when they're done feeling better about themselves, they forget about that person. Then there's those of us who self-harm in that way that it's the opposite. I haven't felt well, so I have been an awful friend. I don't mean to be, and I feel like they get tired of hearing my excuses, so then I just don't say anything to them because I feel like a lousy friend, and I shouldn't, but that's how I am. There's weeks when I don't want to, and I can't just go and socialize. When I leave the house, it's for a purpose, to go do what I need to do and come home. I don't want company. I just want to be in my safe zone. And it probably doesn't sound like reasonable to some people, but other people I think will understand. Like, I'm happy. My yarn is here. My animals are here. My honey is here. My TV, my everything I need is right here. And I just don't feel like sitting and going out nowhere, and I don't want anyone here. Like, I just want the immediate what is in my home. That makes me a terrible friend. I know it does, and I don't mean to be like that, but it's just a thing where if I get out of the house, I end up getting really anxious and not feeling well. So that's a lose-lose for me. But yeah, money, spending. When people are manic, they go and they buy a whole bunch of stuff to feel better. Like, well, depressed. Okay, when they're manic, they start spending. I guess it's just bipolar, but manic, they go spending because they're just, it's a high for them. Like, and they overspend. They spend more money than they should have because now they're out of money for bills or they overdraft, that kind of thing. Then there's the depressed part where I'm sad and I feel like if I just go buy myself this, I'm going to be happy. We all know that's just a temporary fix for what's wrong. But that's kind of the way drugs are. If I use this drug, I know it makes me feel such and such way. So, but then when the drug wears off, well, buying something's the same way. You're happy at that moment because you really wanted this. But afterwards, you probably feel worse because it was money that you needed to spend on something else and you're still sad. Like that one object didn't take all your sadness away. That just doesn't happen. And so there are other ways other than drugs and stuff that we self-medicate, that we use it to soothe us or to harm ourselves. Our words are harmful to others. Our mouth. We use our mouth to harm others. That's not right either. So, and that's why proper medication is important. Therapy is important. And evaluating your feelings. Like really, I have learned a lot. I'm not a professional, but I have learned a lot because when I finally got to a mental space where I was kind of okay, not all the way okay, but not where I had been, ending up in hospitals and stuff, I started researching. Like I wanted to learn about what was wrong with me. Because, and now I'm very self-aware. Sometimes a little too self-aware because then I'm like, is that person really being crappy to me, or am I over analyzing that person? And a lot of times anymore, it's not me being paranoid. That person really is being crappy. Now, it's okay if I think that I'm just over analyzing it, because you know, being mean to that person back or whatever ain't gonna change that. But it's good to be self-aware. It's good to learn your triggers. And by triggers, I mean what sets you off. When my mom first died, I knew that, and even now, it's getting close to the anniversary of my mom's death, and I know that I'm going to be sad at that time. I know that. A lot of times I don't plan. I either plan. Last year we couldn't go anywhere. The year before, LJ planned because our anniversary is the day before. So LJ planned for us to be out of town for our anniversary, so therefore we would be out of town. We went and spent the night in a hotel, so therefore I'd be out of town for the anniversary of my mom's death. Because he felt like, and it did help a little, like that's not a bad thing. Like, you know, we were out doing some stuff, and I was still sad, but we tried to stay preoccupied because it kind of just made that day a little easier. I'm sad leading up to it, and so that day, anything I can do to make it not so sad is nice. One year, the first year, my family got together to celebrate my mom's life, and then, like I said, no, I guess that's what we did do that first year, because this year is 3 years. So we didn't go out of town, or maybe we went out of town. I don't remember. But the first year, it was the family, and LG did everything he could to make that day not so bad. And then last year, me and him did something because he was trying to get my mind off of it. But I'll be danged if I can remember what it was, because it's in August, so I know it was full-blown pandemic. And so I can't remember what we did. Or maybe I slept that day, because my first birthday without my mom, I slept all day. And it's okay to have days like that. It's not okay to just sleep all the time. That's a bad thing. But it's okay when you know there's a bad day coming around. It's okay for that day. If it's that sad for you, it's okay to sleep and just have a little pity party, or just take a down day and just let it pass. That's okay. But yeah, so that day's coming up for me, and we don't have anything special planned, or at least I don't think we do. LJ hasn't told me. I'm not sure what we'll do because we usually do something for our anniversary and then it leads into the next day because we got married the day before my mom died. But I don't know. I really don't know what we are doing this year. I haven't thought about it. I mean, I know it's coming, but I just haven't. I mean, I think that after last year, it's kind of like I don't want to plan too much because, you know, we had all these things we were going to do last year, you know, beginning of the year, early spring, thinking about it. And then everything fell through. So now I'm kind of like, do we or don't we? So yeah, we do have a trip. We are going to go out of town overnight, but not in the beginning of August. We just have a random, we don't know what we're going to do, but we know we're going to do it kind of plan. So, if you are one who does that, sometimes I need to have a really good cry. So I'll watch a sad movie to make myself cry. That's okay. But if you sit and watch sad things because you're sad, and that's just like I don't know, that's adding to it. It's okay to need a good cry and watch something, you know, because sometimes that's cleansing for the soul. But if that's all you do is watch sad things, you're kind of adding to how you feel. Does that make sense? Like, if that's all you do. One sad movie to get a good cry out, nothing wrong with that. If that's all you do is sit and watch stuff that makes you sad, not so good. Just saying. And you know, when you're sad, watch a comedy. That's another thing. If I am now, okay, if I just need to cry it out, like say I just feel blah and I just feel like if I'd have a good cry, it's okay to watch a sad movie. But when I catch myself getting depressed, sometimes I'll watch my favorite comedian. You know, there's certain stand-up comedians that I just love. There's not too many that make me laugh out loud, but some of them do. And I will binge watch them because even though I'm still kind of sad, I will find myself feeling a little better through that laughter, and that's a good thing. That's a healthy way to pull yourself out. If you're sad and you know that certain people make you feel better, don't use them for that. But instead of being like me, I'm speaking from experience and telling myself I just don't want to be around people because I'm sad. Reach out and say, you know what? I feel great when I'm around you. Let's go do something. I'm an awful friend in that way. I really am. Because when I'm depressed, I don't want to be around people. And sometimes they need me as much or more than I need them at the time. So I'm not a very good friend. But I don't use them, and I try not to. Like, it's not my intention. It's not what I'm using them for. I'm sure a lot of people are like, she only comes around when she feels like it. Well, that's true, but not because I'm trying to get anything from them. A lot of times when I finally do go see them, it's out of obligation because I feel bad I've been a crappy friend. So I'm not going just because, you know, I want something from them. It's because I feel like they need me and I've been a bad friend. I don't know if this video is even making sense today, so please let me know because I feel like I'm talking in circles. Weather. You can't control the weather, but I love rainy days. And so I try to stand on the porch on a rainy day if it's not blowing sideways, because if y'all know New Mexico gets sideways rain a lot of times. But if it's just a nice soft rain, oh, here she goes. Ziggy, stop. Ziggy. If it's a nice soft rain, I will sit on the porch and breathe in the air. I'm going to let you go because she sees something outside she thinks she has to try to chase. And I have the screen door. I have the inside door. She's not going to be quiet. I love y'all. I hope this made sense and it helped somebody. I'll link my email below if you would like to talk or email me. I love y'all. Bye.